Well, One Punch Man chapter 160 just dropped out of nowhere. As I was checking this afternoon, I see that the new chapter's out. I'm very surprised that it has been dropped. I thought it'd be another week or so before we get the next chapter, but I'm very thankful it's come out. But yeah, so welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Otaku Critic. And let's have a little bit of a look at chapter 160. Now, there's not much to look at. Sadly, it is quite a quick chapter. It seems like a chapter that's just been thrown out there to make sure that it covers what it needs to cover for the week, instead of really developing to be a longer chapter for development of the story. There's not much to it. As I will be starting and talking about, there's not, unfortunately, like I said, not much to it. Really off. We basically start off with a little bit of a humour, and we see Sweet Mask finally showing, I think, from the previous chapter, showing some action. Hopefully, we'll get to see more of that, because he's supposed to be top, I think, for rank A, and really hasn't shown his stuff much. So I'll be interested to see if we get more of that. But also, surprisingly, we get to see the fat, fucking superhero. I forget his name now, because I'm very bad with names. But we get to see him staunch looking, and skinny. And I'm like, who the fuck is it? And I realise when he starts eating all the food in the chapter, it's the pig guy. I think it's like pig man or something. I can't remember what his name is. But Sweet Mask is like, who are you? He thought he was like from the news thing. He didn't realise that it was the big fatso, the pig man from the Superhero Alliance. Which is quite funny. It gives a little bit of a joke, bring in the One Punch Man humour a little bit, and then it gets serious, and then it goes. And I rate this because it changed up its pacing very quickly, and it gives me something that I quite enjoyed, and I think you guys have or would have if you'd read it as well. It gives us a quick switch to Garou, to his past, to when he first was entering the dojo of Fang, Fang's dojo, and I was like, oh. I like this. Getting a look at his past. I hope we get some more looks at that, because I'm very interested on Gojo's past. We don't know much about his past. We know some of it. We don't know why he wanted to become... Well, we know why he wants to become a monster, but we don't know what happened to Dojo. We don't really know everything. He still considers Fang to be his master. But we're gearing on with the fight between him and the large centipede, the ultimate centipede. And we're still getting that fight. We didn't see Metal Bat this chapter. It was just Gojo. And... holy shit, the animation for this is fucking great. Because we see, the centipede going up to this guy and trying to... I'm not sure what it was... trying to get his heart back. That's right, because Gojo taking out his heart and they threw it in the air in the last chapter. I didn't explain that, but yeah, lost his heart. We got a fucking great... we then get the great look back on Gojo's past. Where legitimately... he starts thinking about breaking tiles, because the centipede's like breaking cement tiles. It's got so many layers and layers and layers that you have to break. And it's fucking interesting. And it starts off good. We get fucking the double chin guy, I don't know his name, ever, and he tries to break the cement blocks and fails. Then Garou tries it, stacks up to the highest level, bangs it down, and only fails to break one. And I think this starts to show where he gets his resentment from Fang. And he's like, it all started here. It all started from me failing this one point to me growing, I think. Or maybe his resentment towards the dojo, as no one else was able to be his, up to his strength, as well as the fact that he was always one tile or one thing weaker than his master. And I think that what held him back. And I think it really good parallels onto the next thing he does, which is splitting the centipede in half, like he did with the tiles, and just absolutely breaking and splitting it. And he's like, I love the line from Gojo, because he's just like, as of now, I've reached the epitome of his hand is the embodiment kind of of God. He's like, atonement of martial arts, his hand is basically divine retribution. So he's basically saying that he's God and not them, which is quite fucking funny. I like it. Getting more into the God thing, so he split it, and I was like, fuck, I'll give top-notch fucking drawing to this chapter. So clean, so good. I'm so glad, but it's so fucking good. I think the correlation is it's now bringing Garou up another level. He's building up to be this good, hyper anti-hero, villain thing, and it's so, I think, doing very well with a little bit of a flashback. Now, this chapter doesn't have much to it, but the flashback relates to what's happening in this chapter, and it's building up on Garou, and you're like, oh shit, so you're kind of seeing, fuck, this is his strength. you're like, holy shit, that's actually how strong he is? He's that fucking strong, he's able to split the fucking centipede like it's nothing. Like, I guess I don't think Saitama level strength, but still not as strong, of course, as Saitama. Be like, he's getting up there. He's getting up there to, like, where Blast. He's getting up there to where everything. And he's just like, I love it. And it's there's two lines at the end, which I thought was great when reading it, was, my fist is now perfected, and I broke him all this time, old man, relating because he had, like, the flashback to his past. And I love it still how part of his face is still Goro, like, in a little bit, but then the rest of him is, like, the monster. So showing that he still has some of his rationality and remembering the past with Fang, his master, what he calls the old man, as his sensei, like so I fucking love it. Just good correlation and effect to really showing him, and he's like, and I love how it's still keeping up with the whole God things. Like, last chapter we had fucking Saitama splitting the sea, like Moses, and now we've got divine retribution, and it's all like things, it's like all relating to like God and I think the Bible and heaven. It's like fucking great relations. It's like, so who is Saitama then? In the correlation of God, who was Saitama? And the correlation of God, who was Garou? And I think they were now going to be hyping up to a good aspect of Garou fighting with Saitama, I think, now, because the two monsters are gone. Garou standing there. All the heroes are largely down. They're all beaten. They're all battered. There's no one really standing. Metal Bat's based on his last legs. We've got Pigman, I think. We've got Sweet Mask. But who else do we have? Saitama's there, of course, but we didn't see Saitama this chapter. We didn't get to see much this chapter besides really Garou and a little bit of humour at the beginning, which I thought was great. A very good compliment after last thing, finishing with humour, beginning with humour, and then going on to kind of serious. I think that's what One Punch does right. Is there's always a little bit of humour in there. It always grabs you, makes you laugh a little bit, and then go, oh shit, fuck, this action is also insane. And I love the satire nature of the humour. I love, like, the humour's just good, and it always keeps it the balance. And I think that's what keeps One Punch Man readers coming back, is always that balance of humour and seriousness. Humour, seriousness, and balances it so well, unlike a lot of parodies that try a lot of things. Like, this is a shonen parody, of course, like it's why I like it. Like, Konosuba is a parody of isekai, and it does it really well with just making sure that Garou is at the moment going to be like the final villain of what's happening. We had the villains in season 1, we've now got Garou, which is like the villain of like season 2 and onwards for a little bit, and I wonder what's going to happen next, because I think if you read the webcomic you'll know, but I haven't read the webcomic, so I don't know. But I feel it's a really interesting concept and questionality of who's Garou. He's remembering, like, is he fully a monster, or has he still got some of his human aspects left? Because he's remembering the past, and it's really interesting with that line of, I broke him all this time, old man, when he was thinking about how he failed the first time when he went to the dojo. And I feel it's a really great aspect of just in general of what his mindset is and who he is as a person, and how he really kind of resents but also holds the dojo in a place in his heart. It's a fucking good chapter. I rate it. Go read it if you haven't. One Punch Man. Just if you haven't read One Punch Man, do it. Fuck yes, it's insane. But yeah, no, it's literally like my thoughts on it. But yeah, fucking, it's just, it's insane. It's just insane. I've been the Otaku Critic. Thank you guys for listening to my thoughts and review of this chapter, recent chapter of One Punch Man. But yeah, peace out. I'll see you all guys next time. Peace out, you degenerates.